Hi everyone, welcome back to Coffee Books and Rain, where we are in the spooky vibes and we are loving it. I am not loving bangs. They may look okay, but I don't think I like things touching my eyelashes like this. They are messing with me something fierce, and I'm just not sure I can handle it. I think they're okay, like aesthetically, but I don't think I can deal with this for a long period of time. I would have to trim them a little bit shorter, like somewhere like half an inch shorter, somewhere between my eyebrows and eyelashes would be the way to go. But since they're not real, I'm also worried about trimming them too much because I might mess them up. I guess I could probably try. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to take time to thank you guys because, we reached 100 subscribers maybe, the early part of October, and we are already at, close to, 125, and that's, really surprising to me because I didn't know we were gonna, move so quick, and that was really, so I wanted to say thank you. So thank you. I know I'm just a small YouTube channel, and all I do is I read books and I talk about them, and sometimes I dress up kind of funny and put in weird teeth. Usually I drink coffee. Today I'm drinking water. It is actually because of the teeth right now. Just because I don't know if the thermoplastic will stain if I drink coffee. And it's also 7 p.m. and I probably shouldn't drink coffee this late. I guess I could have made decaf. Probably could have, should have. But we are talking about shoestring theory. I almost got tongue-tied on that one. This is by Mariana Costa, and it is super cute. Love it so much. I am so excited about some of the books that I have been getting lately. I am, literally within the past 2 or 3 days, I have gotten, 2 John Scalzi books. I have gotten a Kel Woods book. I got a Neil Shusterman book. So my next couple of months are going to be so incredibly fantastic. I even got an excerpt of Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson that just as soon as my TBR list from my NetGalley has dwindled just a little bit, I plan on diving into all of these. I have them by list of priority of when they need to be read. If I could put them in the list of when I wanted to read them, I know some of them would probably get missed. So I have to read them by their due dates or by their publication dates so I can stay on track with ensuring that I can meet the deadlines for their publication and their archive dates. I know, but if I sign up for them, then I want to make sure I meet my promise to provide those reviews. So that is what I try to do, because I try not to have more than 15 requests out there at a time. But October was really full. November right now, I think I have 10 books. October was just really thick with books. I want to say I had 18 to 20 books that I have actively read. No, I think I had 18 to 20 approved and have been able to keep up with all of them. I think I have 4 left. I'm very excited. I think I have actually been able to meet all of them, and I only have 4 left. I'm so very excited. Yay! Yay. So we are down to shoestring theory, and I'm in no way negating that or degrading that in any way. I'm very excited about this book. It's a very cute book, and it went very, very quickly, so I'm very happy to provide this book. Now, it starts off a little bit a little bit heavy, a little bit sad. You're not really sure what's going on, but let me read you, like, read you just the sentence that kind of captured me, because I only read this one sentence, which is what um, drew me into wanting to read it. And so it says, a queer madcap friend to lovers to enemies to lovers. Time travel romance with the future of the world at stake. This charming fantasy tale is sure to satisfy fans of Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. So that's all I had read in order to know that I wanted to read this book and add it to my request list from NetGalley. And I am so glad that I did because it was absolutely cute. Now, I will say, when I started out, like the very first chapter part of this book, the very first couple of pages were a little heavy hitting because I wasn't sure what was going on with this book. We were presented with like this older man wizard who is very much down and sad and depressed, and he's pretty much trying to figure out an out for his life. He's got this spell that he is working on, and he is about to self exit, as one of my favorite YouTubers sometimes says, and she's so great. So she's like, I think her channel is called Miss Mango Butt, and but sometimes when she does murder mysteries, she goes by the Rotten Mango. But anyway, she self exit is a term that she'll use, so I just want to give her credit for that's where it comes from. So anyway, the character is trying to self exit in such a way to make the spell work, and he is mourning the loss of his pet familiar. A love of his life has changed in a lot of different ways, and everything in his life is going just wrong, wrong, wrong. So, with all of that being said, let me give you a little bit of the summary, and then we will kind of roll it back and see where all the kind of funniness comes into place, because what I've given you is pretty heavy so far. The kingdom of Farsala is broken, and black clouds hang heavy over the arid lands. Former Grand Mage of the High Court, Cyril Lever, has spent the last decade hiding himself away in a ramshackle hut by the sea, trying to catch any remaining fish for his cat familiar, Shoestring, and suppressing his guilt over the kingdom's ruin. For his part, he played for the king's Euphrates Margrave, descending further and further into paranoia, violence, and madness. His grand mage and husband, Cyril, didn't do a thing to stop him. When Shoestring wanders away and dies one morning, Cyril knows his days are finally numbered, but there are enough left to have a last go at putting things right. Oh, are there enough left? With his remaining lifeblood, he casts a powerful spell that catapults him back in time to a happier period of Farsalian history, a time when it was Euphrates' older sister Tig destined to ascend to the throne, before she died of wasting disease, and a time when Cyril and Euphrates' tentative romance had not yet bloomed. If he can just make sure Euphy never becomes king, then maybe he can prevent the kingdom's tragic fate. But the magical oath he made to his husband at the altar transcends both time and space, may prove to be the most enduring and most dangerous feat of magic to date. So I'll stop there, even though there's one little tiny chapter, because sometimes I just don't read the whole thing. You're welcome to go read it. And this book is actually already available, published October 8th of 2024, and it's about 400 pages in paperback. So I will say it looks like it's published by Angry Robot, which super fun. I love anything published by a company called Angry Robot, so yes, please, more Angry Robot. But anyway, It is considered romantasy, time travel, queer, LGBT, adult, and romance and fantasy. So, all of that being said, let us dive in, because now that first chapter or that first paragraph kind of tells you what I kind of told you already. That first couple of pages sets up the backstory of why Cyril or Cy wants to go back in time. He is currently in his 50s. He has isolated himself by the seaside, and things are not going well in the future or in his current present state. The kingdom is not doing well. His husband, Euphrates, has descended in some sort of madness, violence, paranoia that he does not know why this has been the way he's become. But Cyril has done nothing to stop it. He really sat back and let it happen. And he didn't try to intervene, he didn't try to step in, nothing. And so after Shoestring, his wizard familiar, passes away, Cyril knows that a wizard is not meant to live very long after his familiar passes. That was one of the things that his great aunt told him when he was younger, when he was training, was that a wizard or a witch cannot live long without their familiar. So he does a spell in his cabin by the seaside, and pretty much using his last remaining lifeblood, kind of spills it onto the ground to send himself back in time to try to rewrite the past. And so when he awakens in the past, when the book really kind of starts, when it really kind of sets forward and sets into motion all the things that are taking place, so this is where the madcap sort of adventure begins, is he wakes up in the forest not too far away from the castle, and a creature very much like his familiar is not too far away, but he feels like it's not his familiar. Like, it's like his familiar, but it's not quite his familiar, because he's like, no, my familiar's dead, so you can't be it. But anyway, and so he realizes he's probably in his like early 20s at this point, and he's got like his elaborate makeup on. So he's like, okay, I think I have time to be able to set things as right as possible. So off to the castle he goes to try to do that. And so once he gets to the castle, he starts trying to make a plan of what he's going to do, and he feels like the first thing he's got to do is take out his pretty much soon-to-be husband, but also kind of his ex-husband, the husband that would be. I mean, Euphrates must perish, must never be able to gain the throne, even though Tig is the one who shall take the throne first. Tig is fine, Tig is good, but she's also supposed to perish from wasting disease, but Euphrates can't have the opportunity, so he's like, oh well, he's gonna have to be not alive anymore, so we're gonna have to take him out. So Cyril decides, okay, well, I'm gonna isolate him, and I'm gonna just have to do the thing I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to just take him out. And that's when he realizes that Euphrates is also the Euphrates from the future. Euphrates has his memories of everything else. And so now, both Cyril and Euphrates from the future are in the past. And so that is where I will leave it for you, because this is where they remember everything and no one else knows, and Cyril has to get people on his side in order to try to change the future. So it is great. It is fun. I had such a good time with this book. I really thought that I honestly like. I think things play out the way they should play out. I really do. I think the author did a great job with that. I just ultimately, I was just like, okay, Cyril, like, come on. I get having crushes on like big beefy guys. Like that's fine. I get it, but ultimately, like like we got to find a different dude for you. Like we can't be enemies to lovers to enemies to lovers. Like we can't be enemies to lovers to like lovers again. We can't do it. We can't keep doing this cycle. We got to break this cycle, man. It's toxic. But anyway, I hope you will go out and read it. I think it's a lot of fun. If you like Legends and Lattes, if you like books that are kind of in that cozy adventure vein, I think this is worth the read. It kind of has a little bit of period theme, but it's also a little bit more knights and castles rather than like Bridgerton theme. Not so much. When I say period theme, I think like my personal thing, knights and princesses and castles and stuff like that. So that's the sort of theming this book is going to have, but it's kind of cozy. Um, yeah. So I hope you'll go out and find it. I hope you'll go read it. And I hope you all have a great and wonderful evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you'll like and subscribe. And I will see you all on the next page. Have a great one.